Marcellus Sports Shooting Stars bring the game to you. And today we got a special guest fresh off the district championship. Your Catholic's athletic director and head football coach, Brad Hayek. Thanks for jumping on with me here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So you still got, I know it's been a few days now, man. Has the adrenaline kind of came down a little bit off that big win against DeLone Catholic?
Yeah, a little bit. It's some of it's still there, We still got that smile on our face and proud of all the accomplishments that, the kids had this season with that win. But yeah, it's back to business. We're fortunate enough to keep playing, and now we're focused on our next opponent, Belmont Charter, which we play here at Saturday.
Well, that's going to be a big one, Coach. I definitely want to dive into that. But before, I want to just kind of shine a little light on some of the players from the win against DeLone. What would you say was the biggest factor in coming up with that big W?
We always say that we struggle in the first quarter, first half, because, we only have 25 kids right now. And, our practices are very limited and very basic, just so we don't have any injuries. So we got to grind through the first quarter and first half. And, you saw that on Friday, and we were down 14-0 and got out of that hole back to 14-14. But, once the game gets going, the kids get comfortable. They start, stepping up a little bit more, and the game comes to them. And I think it's been that theme of all year long, where they've just been able to get more comfortable in the second half of the game, and we're prepared. We give them all the tools that they need, and they seem to be ready to go in the second half.
Well, it's well said there, Coach. Sophomore quarterback, total 5 touchdowns, over 200 yards passing, almost 60 yards rushing. Talk about how he's evolved, Coach, just being a sophomore.
Yeah, Michael Staub, he special player. He had a phenomenal game in that district championship game, and has had some of those games throughout the season. It's great to see him because he's probably the most humblest, quietest person on the team. And if you get anything out of him vocally, outside of play calls and directions that he's given the kids, you've done something well. And you won't see him overly celebrate. He just business as usual, and he's ready to go to the next play. So very happy for him to have that kind of game in that situation, in that stage. And he showed his, it was really awesome to watch.
Wow. Well, that sophomore class, Coach, you got to be excited about the future as well. I mean, you had Callahan Murphy along with Alex Kipple combined for over 200 yards and 2 scores. What makes that chemistry with Staub so great?
Well, these are kids that have grown up together. We talk about a lot, the backyard football games, and they've grown up from the Pee Wee days, and elementary school days. So it's just a natural chemistry for them. And they're really, again, these kids work well together. They're serious when they have to be serious. They can have fun when they want to have fun, but they're all about football. I think right now, if you ask them what their focus is, I think it'd be football. They're very good athletes for other sports like basketball and lacrosse and things like that. But yeah, they're a good group of kids and very tight group of kids.
Your offensive line doesn't get a whole lot of headlines, but they obviously did a fantastic job opening up those holes. Talk a little bit about that offensive line and how important that was.
Here's another group of kids that, we started in the summer. They started last year, as freshmen and sophomores. Reed Sinclair's our junior. He's our leader right now. That has been doing this since a freshman, and on both sides of the ball. Reed's a beast. And if you watch the game and go back and see him play defense, he just creates so much havoc for the other team. And then, the other guys, Christian Knoll, is our center. He's leading the way. He went through a little bit of a, injury earlier in the season, but he's the anchor of our line. And just a couple other sophomores that are really stepping up. And yeah, to your point earlier, the future is very bright for us. We know where we are youth wise, and anything that we can get this season is a plus.
Well, defensively as well, he forced 2 turnovers, huge efforts by that whole side of the ball. Sinclair was big, Camden Fitz as well. How important is that identity and that defense, especially going into this weekend's game?
It's definitely something that we put a lot of emphasis on. we work on it all year long, and it starts, summertime, springtime, whenever it is, and it's just about getting 11 guys to the ball. We want to be physical as possible. We want to create turnovers, but we want every person to get to that ball carrier and stop them. I think if we do that on a consistent basis, teams won't like that, and they won't have the results that they're hoping for.
Looking ahead to this Saturday's 1 o'clock game, Coach, you have a tough team coming with Belmont. Talk a little bit about them. Have you been able to watch some tape up to now, and what has stood out?
Yeah, we definitely watched some film on them, and yes, they are talented and very athletic. They're I think the good thing for us is that we played a team coming from Philly a couple weeks ago in Audenride, and that kind of gave us some of that exposure to what we may expect from a team that's way out of our district. But yeah, we have to step up. We're going to have to contain. They have a running back who runs the ball very well. They have, some athletic tall receivers. They have a big offensive line that we're going to have to make plays and stay with them. And it's a different level than what we've been accustomed to playing in our league. So, but we're up for the challenge. Again, we played it a couple weeks ago. This team has a little bit more, athleticism and talent. So we just have to be prepared to make plays. And again, that whole philosophy from a defensive side. Now I'm a defensive guy, so that's why you probably hear more defense than offense from me. But it's about making stops and creating turnovers and creating opportunities for our offense to get on the field and put the ball in Michael's hands and get the ball to Cal and Alex and let Cam and Getchen run the ball and do those things. And our offensive line, kind of take control of that defensive line.
Well said there, Coach. Can you plug a couple of the unsung heroes, either coaching staff or even some of the players that really excelled this year that kind of came out of nowhere?
We have, obviously I said Reed Sinclair. I said his name before, and I want to give him another shout out because, he's a defensive lineman, offensive lineman guy that, how those guys don't get the respect of the exposure. So he's been, the anchor of our defensive line. As far as coaches, man, we have a full coaching staff this year, and that's a huge plus for us. We haven't had that, with coaches that have come and gone and moved on because of career changes and things like that. And that's the life of being a football coach. But having that full, coaching staff here on a consistent basis to be able to work individually a little bit more than what we were in the past is, I think, been a huge asset to, our success.
Well, Coach, earlier this year, basketball girls district title, boys basketball district title. You got the football title, Coach, as the athletic director and football coach. I mean, do you have enough time to relax on the weekends or what?
Yeah, we are busy. It just comes with the job, and it's great. I enjoy it. I enjoy being around athletics. I enjoy seeing, teams put together game plans and go out and implement. So, watching games, be positive or, maybe we're on the losing end one time. It's good for me to watch, athletics, but coaching is a passion I've had for a long time, been doing it for a long time, 20 years now. Not as head coach, but obviously, been involved in the game, and it's something I, thoroughly enjoy to do. And these kind of seasons have their ups and downs, but that result on Friday night, that's what we're, looking for. And now we're going to try to go out and get that first state playoff win that our school hasn't been able to do in football. So we're excited about the opportunity.
As my cousin Bubba always says, you got to know what buttons to push and you got to push them fast, like I used to do in Nintendo. So good
That's
luck
right.
out there, Coach, this weekend. How do they get tickets? And give us the information and all the good stuff.
All right. So the game's at 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's at York Catholic. So we're able to host Belmont Charter is the school that we're playing. Tickets are all online. They have to go through the District 3 website because it is a sub-regional game. It's not a PIAA state game. It's going to be organized through the District 3. So all tickets can be purchased through District 3 website. Go to football 1A, find our game, click and get your tickets there. And yeah, I hope to have a great crowd out. Saturday afternoon game. Weather looks great. Everything's going to be played mostly on Friday night. So hoping we get a big crowd and people out to watch us play on Saturday afternoon.
You heard it. Come on, York County, stand up, get out there, support the young student athletes as they go for a state win right here. Coach, thanks so much for jumping on with us. Best of luck and keep doing what you're doing there at York Catholic.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity, and Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see you guys out at a game.
Sports Shooting Stars, we bring the game. We bring the game to you. Contact us, sportsshootingstars@gmail.com.